What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I think a lot of people are really wanting to see more of the behind the scenes or the daily activity type of content. What do we do on a daily basis, you know, in the garden or with the pigs, with the turkeys, with the chickens and all that fun stuff. So you are going to get that today. I just brought the turkey roost up to where we're going to be putting the turkeys in the pasture. So I'm on lunch right now. I only work about 5 minutes away, so I like to come home on lunch, and if there are things that I can do during my lunch period, I do them. Usually this time of day, Jacob's collecting eggs and Gabrielle's in the garden taking care of things. I'm utilizing this time to, one, bring the turkey stuff up to the pasture, and two, our tomatoes are crazy. They're absolutely nuts. I'll throw some pictures up there. We have so many tomatoes this year, it's ridiculous, but they're getting very heavy on our cattle panels, and she's requested that I come up here and kind of shore things up. So we're gonna do that today. All I'm going to do, I think temporarily, is just run some rope from the top of the T-posts that are holding up the cattle panels on the row that she's concerned about, across the road to the bottom of the T-posts in the next row over. So I'll show you what I mean. Let's get to work, get some string in, try and shore up these tomatoes. Not the most efficient thing, but it's a temporary solution to a problem. We'll fix it in a little bit in the future. Hey, who planted sorghum in our fields? I stopped over here to see the sorghum you see right behind me, and it's pretty cool when you let things go to seed, like your pastures, what pops up. In our case, this is the area where we had our chickens this spring. We fed them scratch, so I think that scratch had a little bit of sorghum seed in it, and it's popping up all over the place. So I came through and mowed this area right here. This area underneath the walnut tree, I'm thinking is going to be a pretty good area for the turkey poults. They'll have plenty of shade, and I'm thinking a little bit of extra protection from hawks and stuff like that. So we're gonna leave the turkey roost right underneath this tree. I think that's gonna be a perfect solution for them. They are also right next to our pigs. So I think having the pigs around here has really kind of curbed our predator protection. So I'm hoping that helps out a little bit. Gabrielle's back with all the wiring, so let's go ahead. We'll grab all the netting, get that unpacked, start putting our stakes in the ground, figure out if I've mowed enough land to get this netting set up. All right, so I guess there's a couple different ways that you can wire this up, but the way that we're doing it is all the strands are going to be hot. So we're going right from the fence to the hot post on the charger, and then right from the ground rod up to the negative post on the charger.
lights on?
Nope.
We might not even see much.
What are you doing, Reba? You want to be on camera? You're a good girl. You're a good girl too, Loretta. Boys playing in the mud. The other boys are playing in the barn. We got no time to waste. We got to clean out this brooder. We have chickens we got to move, and we have more chickens coming in 2 weeks. So no time to hang out and relax and enjoy the turkeys being outside just yet.
It's like already composting.
Yeah.
Deep litter bedding, you mean? Like, but I don't think this is deep. I think this is just wet. Like just that spot.
Alright guys, so we have the brooder all emptied out. It's in the compost. Now what we have to do next is kind of take care of the garden. So I'm actually on lunch break right now, so I'm going to bring the brooder back to the house. We're going to set that out in the driveway, let it dry, because the turkeys were doing a real good job at spilling the water everywhere. We're going to let that dry out. We have to move our chicks into that brooder tonight, and I'll show you that. But for right now, I'm going to leave you with Gabrielle. She's got some garden activities to do. It's a daily thing around here, so she's going to do a little bit of explaining about what we have going on in the garden, kind of what's in season right now, and what she has to do on a daily basis.
This is our second crop of corn. It's the sweet temptress corn, and it's coming up pretty good and fast. We've had a lot of rain, so that has helped. And then over here is the popcorn that Jacob had planted, and it looks to me like it's just about dried up and ready to be harvested. These are the pickling cucumbers. They're max pack, and I already have about 10 pounds of them at the house waiting to be pickled. So I'm going to see what's left to harvest of those. The bees have been very busy in here pollinating. Okra is one of those things that if you don't stay on top of it and harvest it every day, you can end up with some very large pods, and they are not as tender and tasty. So it's good to always stay on top of it, or you end up with very large ones like this, which they're still edible, they're just a little tougher than you would prefer. I do usually harvest my tomatoes before they're fully ripe, just to protect against them getting eaten by any pests. And then I bring them into the house and put them on the windowsill to fully ripen. I really haven't noticed any different in flavor. We had severe storms yesterday and the day before, and we were nervous about our tomatoes falling. And I'm really thankful and surprised that these cattle panels have held up and we didn't lose any tomatoes, and nothing even bent over or fell. So I'm really thankful for that, because last year we had a lot of trouble. We used the Florida weave, and we had a lot of trouble with the heavy winds pulling them down, and even just the weight of the fruit bending the plants over at the top. So very thankful that that did not happen this year. I do have a garden helper this year. Oh no, I think there's a injured bird. Oh no, there he goes. Oh. Oh, okay, bye. These are my peppers. They're all bell peppers. They're doing really well. I've harvested quite a few already, and I can tell that I need to harvest some more. The other thing that I need to do is where we planted watermelon and pumpkins in with our zinnias, they have gotten a little bit out of control, as you can see. They're crowding out my peppers, which I do not want to happen. But we do have a watermelon here. There's a few smaller ones, and then this is the one Jacob really wants to pick. So we will see if it's ripe. But the pumpkin, I have already pruned it several times, and it is growing crazy. This is only 2 plants, and it's just completely taken over. And as you can see, it is pulling down the zinnias. And as you can see, we have a nice ripe orange pumpkin, and it's only August, so I may have planted the pumpkins a little bit too soon, but the butterflies are absolutely loving the zinnias. It is so great to just see all these pollinators coming in for the zinnias. I love zinnias. So I'm gonna get to work. I need to thin out some of this pumpkin and try and see if I can create better airflow in between my peppers and the pumpkins and zinnias. These are so big, it just makes me want to make stuffed bell peppers. I think that would be good. Maybe we'll have that for dinner tonight. Okay. Well, this is what I got so far. So this is my cucumber and okra. This is all the San Marzano tomatoes. I had to get another bucket, so underneath all these peppers are the Amish paste tomatoes. And then I got all these nice big green bell peppers. And I did thin this out as best I could for now. It definitely needs more work, but I am running out of time. So I just wanted to show you, we did plant some more zucchini and summer squash over here. This is zucchini that was planted a week before that one. And then there's some summer squash coming up here. And then I planted some more beans. These are the provider beans, so they're snap beans to eat fresh. And then over here, our cover crop of buckwheat is coming up, and it is starting to flower. So we're actually gonna have to crimp that down pretty soon. The pollinators love it. And then we have some of the field oats and peas coming up. And unfortunately, we had a really heavy rain right after I had planted these. So there are some spots where it's bare soil, where the seeds just kind of washed away. And there's also borage coming up in here, of course, because I had borage over with my strawberries. Okay, I couldn't resist. I wanted to come check on these guys. They seem very happy to have their freedom in grass. Seem like they adjusted well. They're doing a lot of ring around the tree, just following each other around the tree repeatedly. And they've definitely found the food and water, so they seem pretty happy.
All right, so a couple hours later, we have a clean food dish, clean watering can, and we cleaned the hot plate for our little chicks, or the hot plate that they were using. And these are the little girls and boys that we hatched about 2 weeks ago now, something like that, I think. So these are sex links. I've talked about them before. We got from my buddy Kenneth, and they are ready to come out of this little tin. We had them in here because the turkeys were in the brooder, so as soon as I took the hot plate out of here, they started digging and scratching and running around, so they really want some space to play. So I'm going to let Gabrielle and Jacob do the honors and start moving everybody over to their new home.
Let's go. Oh, the boys are heavy.
Yeah, you can see that the roos or the cockerels are white and the pullets are that reddish brown color. So that's what you get when you breed sex links, is you get the sex coming out as different colors, and that's why you breed sex links. Is it's really easy to separate right when they're born rather than trying to check their vent, and that could hurt the chick if you're not experienced doing that. And sometimes it's hard to tell checking the vent and trying to sex them that way. If you're not experienced, a lot of people get it wrong. It's pretty hard to tell. So sex links is the way to go. You can separate them by color. So we have about 2 weeks before the next 25 Cornish cross come in. So we were just contemplating off camera what to do because we only have one big brooder like this. And I think what we're actually going to do is something that we actually did before when we had multiple sized chickens, is just put a board right across here and separate the chicks, these little pullets and cockerels, away from the Cornish cross that are coming in. And I think by the time the Cornish cross are ready to go outside, these chicks right here will end up going into our barn, while the Cornish cross, when they come out of this brooder, will go into the Salatin style tractor that has Cornish cross in right now. Those are being processed in 1 week, so next weekend actually. So they have 1 week left. We'll process all those. Those are 25, and then we'll have the next round come in right after them. So keeping the rounds going. All right, guys, so that's it. That's pretty much what half of a week looks like around here on our farm. So it's tricky to balance a full-time job and a growing farm where you're starting pretty much from nothing and you're trying to build everything for pigs and chickens and turkeys and getting your fencing done all at the same time. So it's tricky. You just have to really balance your schedule, manage your time really well. You're gonna fall behind. We're behind a little bit, but that's just the nature of the game. So that's what half of a week looks like. We do things in little spurts. We try and get, the really important stuff accomplished when we can, as fast as possible. So I'm going to try and focus the videos more about this kind of content and show you guys exactly what we're doing over the course of a week. And again, like I said before, we'll be putting together some really cool stuff in the near future. I want to share a chicken watering solution for our chicken tractors that we did, and I have a really big surprise, actually 2 of them, for the channel coming up pretty soon. So subscribe if you don't want to miss that. So if you like this video, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, let us know if there's something you want to see on our farm. If you have a question about the way that we do things, absolutely drop a comment. I do read them and get back to everybody. That's going to be a wrap on today's video. Hopefully we can start picking up these videos if you like this type of format, and we'll start doing maybe 2 a week. So it's very tricky, like I said before, to run the farm, let alone try to make YouTube videos. That's going to be a wrap on today. I hope you have a great day.